The 17th Amendment is one that was just been a disaster for the country.
Are there any changes, I'm curious, that you would make if you had the power to change the Constitution? Have you thought about that?
Well, there was a couple of amendments that were disasters. First and foremost among them was the 17th Amendment. The 17th Amendment provided for the direct election of the United States Senate, so that the senators were elected through a popular vote within their states. Prior to the 17th Amendment, the senators were elected by way of the state legislatures. The state legislatures would choose them. And that created a balance in the federal government between the people who were represented in the House of Representatives. The states, whose interests were not necessarily the same as the people's, were represented in the United States Senate. And of course, the president was elected to represent the nation as a whole. And so there was a balance there that kind of controlled and limited the federal government. Once we went to the direct election of senators, then the Senate became to represent the same interest as the House of Representatives. That is, bring home the bacon, right? Do as much as you can to bring home stuff. Get as much, send as little money to Washington as possible, and bring home as much money as you can. And that created another situation because the Senate approves judiciary. And so the president started to nominate federal judges that had a greater view of federal power and centralized government. The Senate began to approve those judges. When the Senate was representative of the states, they would not approve judges of that nature and advise of consent. The 17th Amendment is one that was just been a disaster for the country.